Good evening, dear viewer. Thank you so much for joining us. This is yet another edition of the Ballot 2026 that comes your way from the Church of Uganda Family TV. As always, very glad to host you for the next 2 hours when we go into the issues that relate to the ballot. My name is Baguma Richard, and I have a lineup of guests whom I will be telling you in a second. But first of all, to thank God for enabling us, as always, to be here, to have the breath and the ability to come and share at this time. The Ballot 2026 is our way of trying to mobilize each one of us to appreciate that that vote is a very important item, and that participating in casting that vote, in making that decision, is not just a duty, it's a responsibility, but it's also a divine calling, that we need to go and cast our votes. And we've looked at the statistics, the patterns. Oftentimes you find more than half of the people who are registered and eligible to vote don't even go to vote. But we are determining our current, our future, and our future. It's critical that we go. And that's why we have the Ballot 2026 to digest some of the issues around elections and electoral processes, and to get all of us to be able to understand some of the issues, but also listen to the stakeholders who play a role in this, so we can perhaps decide in a way that is more and better informed. In studio tonight, I have 3 guests, usual lineup of 3. This time, on my immediate right, I have Namirembe Precious. Namirembe Precious also calls herself the Iron Lady. And she will in a minute tell us why she calls herself the Iron Lady. But she's looking for votes to become the next member of parliament for youth for Western region on the DP ticket. So the previous times I've met her, she has been all adorned in green. So when she came, I said, oh, where is the green? And she said, oh, I can also sometimes adjust my attire. You are very welcome, Precious.
Thank you.
You say hi to our viewers.
Oh, our dear viewers, it's a great evening, and I take this opportunity to thank Family TV and to thank all that have tuned in, and I really look forward to the discussion. My name is Namirembe Precious. I'm 25 years old, born from Wampala and raised in Chibula district. I look forward to represent the young people in the 12th Parliament as their Western Youth MP. It's a pleasure to be here this evening.
You're very welcome. Next to Precious is Augustine Ojobire. Is the Secretary for the Forum for Democratic Change FDC Electoral Commission. You are very welcome. Some of the people told me that Ojabire has been involved in protests. He would tell us a bit about that. And he considers himself an activist, and also one who is pushing for change. And I am told, Ojabire, that one of the places you belong to was the Jobless Brotherhood. So you are welcome to the studio. Can you say hello to our viewers?
Thanks for the opportunity, Family TV, and thanks for this show. My name is Augustine Ojobire. I'm the Secretary of FDC Electoral Commission. It's true, I've been in and out of prison severally, and the beauty about it is that I have not been arrested for corruption, I have not been arrested for theft, I have not been arrested for maybe committing adultery, but I've been arrested because of making an alarm against the corrupt, and also trying to put the wrongs to the right. So that has been my crime, and I've not lost any case in court. I think there are over 40 cases across the country, and I've won majority of them, while some have been dismissed. So,
what a greeting to our viewers. But you're very welcome to the show. It's nice to have you here. And then, of course, Fred Wamwine. I must put a disclaimer first to you, the viewers, that I met Fred Wamwine when he was a boy. He no longer is, but he still remains an old boy. Fred Wamwine is now commissioner in the office of the president. I don't need to talk about his side. The yellow tie says it all. But I've also interacted with Fred in the media, but also in his positions as a resident district commissioner, RDC. I think the last time we met, he was in Mukono when he was RDC. I think that's the last time, somewhere near the lake, it was near Katosi. Yeah, so Fred, nice to see you again. Welcome.
Thank you.
Say hello to our viewers.
Thank you so much, Baguma. I want to take this opportunity to greet the viewers and listeners of Family TV, which is a unique TV within the country, because when you look at its programs, it's a TV to watch. People who are watching this TV want to call upon you that although we have political campaigns going on the political temperature, but I would request that all of you, before you go to support your candidate, or if you're a candidate yourself, like one I have seen here, make sure that your family has some food to eat and surplus for sale. Because campaigns are just remaining 2 months, and after 2 months, families will remain. You will not tell a child that I don't have food because I was in a campaign, or I don't have school fees because there was campaign. So it's important that although there are campaigns, life must continue. And for me, the life I'm talking about is food for the family and surplus for sale. Secondly, I also want to appeal to everybody who may be watching this TV that please kindly try as much as possible, if you are involved in politics, not to radicalize your supporters or the people you live with, because radicalism has too much negative effect. I thank you and I wish you a good watch.
Before I come to the topic, and it relates to just the comment I'm going to make. We have been talking about different things in the previous programs. This is our 4th edition. We just started this because we wanted to really rally people to understand that participating in elections is important for now, but important for the future, that they should come out and participate, whatever way they participate. And we're going to talk about the messaging. What has been the messaging of the candidates so far? Some people say it's populist rhetoric. Others say it's pertinent issues being talked about. Others say it's a mixture of this and all kinds of things. But in the United States, in New York, perhaps the financial capital of this world, a Ugandan-born boy is now the mayor. I don't understand if Ugandans have an idea what that means, because I asked people in the IT area in my office to tell me, to find out if they can find the metrics. How many times have been mentioned? Uganda has been mentioned as the result of the brand of Mamdani Jr. Yes, and so I think something good can come out of Uganda, at least exemplified by this. But also this story to a Ugandan young person that you can actually rise in the world. But why I talk about is because a lot of analysts attribute his success to having a message that resonated with the voter. And I think that's where I want us to go. And I will start with you, a candidate. Yes, because Namirembe, you are a candidate. You want the young people of Western Uganda to trust you to go represent them in parliament. So before we even come to the general party, your party DP, yourself, what are you messaging to these young people? Why should they care? Yeah.
Thank you. I would like to say that my message has been very simple and very clear. And I've been telling my voters and all the delegates that as the young people, we have a big mission concerning what is happening in the country. We have a big role to play, and this is our time concerning choosing the right leaders. We are the majority, containing over 73%. So this shows you that we have the power, we have what it takes for us to make sure that we get what we are supposed to get. Because at the end of the day, if we do send in wrong leaders, it will come back to us. We are the majority. We are we have many of our friends unemployed. We look at the education system, somehow we are not receiving quality education, because why would you go in school for all this time and after you get out of the university, you cannot get a job? So all this still comes back to us, and I thank the Lord that we are in a period where we can surely be the determinants. Choose and send in leaders that have the vision and have the needs of serving us at their hearts. So to me, I've been telling the young people that let's use this time, only and only this time, and surely believe in the powers that we have, know that we have the numbers, and send in leaders. I've been looking at some of the young people who have even lost hope in the system of voting. Someone tells you, but bless us, even if we go into voting, we already know who are the winners. We already know who are going to go through, for example, our race. Somehow, when you look at the system and you look at the delegates, you see who are the voters. Somehow, it shows you clearly that the system is not favoring these young people. Why would a full Western Youth MP be voted by just the delegates at the sub-county level, only 3, and the district level? Now, it clearly shows you that the majority are being left out, and somehow some of the youth have lost the hope. But I tell them that this is not time to lose hope. It is time that we send in leaders like Blesius, who is seriously advocating and is looking forward to make sure that youth are at the center of every decision making in this country. And we can achieve that, but we can only achieve that by sending in people who are vocal and are willing to speak on behalf of us.
Yeah. Are you one of those?
Exactly.
What makes you one of those?
Yes. What makes me one of those? First of all, I believe in myself. 2, I know that leadership is not about holding title, but it's about coming in for a purpose and finding your calling. I'm someone who has identified myself, and clearly I'm sure that I'm the God-given leader for this generation. I'm a generational leader, and I've taken all my time since I was born, I'm now 25 years, to make sure that I nurture myself and get what I'm supposed to get. From primary level, I served as an academic minister. Secondary level, I served as a health prefect. The university, I served as the Deputy Prime Minister, School of Education. I served as, I contested for Guild President still under UYD, though I did not go through. I've been a member of Uganda Democracy Academy under the Netherlands Institute of Multi-Party Democracy. A serious cadre or a serious member of the UYD, Uganda, the Uganda Young Democrats. I have also gone through training under the Leadership Institute of Uganda, that is under ISO. So surely, when you look at all these spaces, they have prepared me. And I'm very ready, and I'm very sure that if I'm given the opportunity, of which the Western youth will not disappoint me, to step in the parliament, the 12th parliament of Uganda, I will be that voice that I have been lacking. I will surely front all the issues of the youth on table. And this is one. We need quality education.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, it's easy to come and say, I will front the issue, but what are the issues? And that's the messaging we are talking about. Yes.
Quality education in a way that we need a curriculum that will be equipped enough that prepares this young person for the next the world of work.
So you support the current curriculum?
The current curriculum, being a teacher, I'm a teacher by profession. I've seen it, and the only challenge is that this curriculum somehow, when you look at the schools deep down in the villages, they are not equipped. Somehow, the schools here in Kampala where the children are paying some large amounts of money, for them they can afford what the curriculum wants. But when you look at the young people down in the village, when you look at the schools in the village, especially our government schools, they do not have what it takes. And me as Blesius, I believe I'm a UPE product. I've seen a number of people, a number of Ugandans go for who are in these schools, many of them. So at the end of the day, I'm saying that they should be equipped with what is needed so that we don't lose out on a number of Ugandans who are going in these government schools.
I'll go to Augustine Ojobile. Augustine, even though you are in the Electoral Commission, I'm sure you can speak to the messaging of the Forum for Democratic Change. What is your candidate? Presidential, but the other candidates too. What are they telling Ugandans?
Thank you, moderator. You see, we need to help our viewers to understand the beauty in a rhetoric and the beauty in issues. Maybe before I go there, I would want to congratulate my sister here for being bold enough to stand up and say, I'm here. It's not easy. As you were praising the Ugandan American for making it in US, one beauty about his success is that he had someone mentoring him, had someone who would say, this is right, this is wrong. Do ABCD, don't do the other. So when you have such situations around us, there is a way it grooms you and molds you into a better leader. I've heard my sister saying she has done it for herself. And it's very dangerous that in Uganda, that is the kind of life we are getting adopted to. That we have nobody to hold our hands. We are self-made. And in leadership, the moment you are self-made, in most cases we crash so soon because we do not understand the nitty-gritties of leadership. You become a leader before you know what a leader must do. So it's a big challenge in Uganda. And even if you have made it to this level by yourself, always make it a point to reach out to different adults and leaders to make sure you gain more knowledge and understanding of the roles and responsibilities of a leader. Coming back to our topic, Forum for Democratic Change is known for always making so clear, assertive, and bold manifestos, which really speak to the common man. This is how our manifesto is, this is how we make our manifesto. Before it becomes a manifesto, FDC forms a committee. Which committee is representative? We broke this country into what we call sub-regions. Sub-regions, 20 of them. Meaning that if I'm to go to Western, I don't just say I need someone from Western. No, I will need someone from Chigezi, from Bunyoro, from Rwenzori, to bring that knowledge to the manifesto committee. When I come to Uganda, I will not say this is the central region representative. No, I will have the east part, the northern part of Uganda, where you are going to get someone from the 3 districts, that is Luwero, Nakaseka, and Nakasongola. Then you will go to also the Masaka sub-region, where that is now the western part of Uganda. So central, eastern, and you will have each sub-region having a representation on our committee. When you go to the northern, we are having 4 sub-regions there.
Is that what you are telling the people?
You see,
on the campaign trail?
You see, I am telling you how we reached up to that, the manifesto that you see us talking about.
And you know why I'm guiding?
Yes.
Let me explain why I'm guiding. You see, when we sit on air, we have an amount of time. Sometimes the guests have extremely useful messages they can give you, but they eat into their time. I really want you to tell us the messages, and then you can come and tell us how you got the messages, so that the people, as we still have their attention, can pick the gist of the FDC message during this campaign.
You see, the challenge with how you want me to present is just like you would want to know, this is what FDC is saying. But what I am bringing up is to help you understand even how we reached to those issues. That even a viewer must understand that if we are talking about fixing the economy, how did we really get to that slogan? That we were in Bunyoro. What are the people of Bunyoro saying? Okay? Because they had a representative on that committee. So we have 20 sub-regions where we have individuals coming up to tell us that there is a problem here. So FDC coined a message in a brief summarizing the entire manifesto by saying we want to fix the economy of this country called Uganda and have money in people's pockets. Breaking it down, this is what we are looking at. We say the Ugandan economy is overtaxing the local man or the citizens. And this taxation policy overwhelms even businessmen, that to a level that the production levels in industries and companies will always be suppressed by the amount of taxes that are levied onto them. Just to give you an example on the issue of taxation, you will realize that for me to buy a product here in Chikubu, it would have been taxed about 5 times. So instead of buying a product of this coat here at maybe 10,000 or 15,000, I will have to buy it at a cost of about 80,000 to 100,000. Just because this is not from Uganda, okay? It is coming from Turkey. I am taxed at the entry of this, or at the entry of the country, at the border. Immediately, there is URA. Immediately, I have my store. I have to be taxed for even the management of the store. Then at the shop, URA is present at the shop, as well as KCCA is also present at the shop. So I am taxed about 5 times before this finished product is actually consumed by the final consumer. So we are saying this kind of taxation should really be stopped. that if you know this is a businessman bringing their products from diaspora, let there be a system which is very clear. Tax this person once, meaning that if I am supposed to pay taxes for maybe a full cabin, there are kilograms that are standard. Standardize the taxation. If it is supposed to be $100 million, let it be that. Okay? Let it not take us to pay $100 million times 3. So it means I would be paying 300. Okay? 300. Okay. By the time I buy this coat, it would have gone to a level that I would only be 1 or 2 people who can buy this. So FDC takes us to a level that if our taxes are lower, the common man will consume products at a higher rate. And now the multiple times of consumption means that we shall have more money being spent, but also you have more money kept in your pockets. Where I was supposed to spend 1,000, I am going to spend 300 shillings or 400 shillings. So I will have 600 as a balance in my pocket.
Thank you. So lower taxation.
Yes.
Okay, Fred. What is the Euro group telling the Ugandans?
I haven't known a group called the Euro Group. I think, Richard, you are very, very provocative. Because when you mentioned Zora Mamadan and in relation of what is taking place, first I want to salute I may call him a young man, because he's half my age.
He is younger than we are.
So I want to congratulate him. Whether we like it or not, history will write about him that he was born in Uganda. And for those who are interested to know, they have to know where is Uganda, what about it. So he has, in one way or the other, a market of my background, he has marketed Uganda. As of now, free of charge. It's upon the leadership of Uganda now to use him, and we benefit much. Even if a delegation came from Uganda to go and visit him, just that, Uganda will be at a different level. Because if there's something difficult, is to market a country on the global stage. So I will inform my reader and others that we have an opportunity here. We must harness it. Two, maybe Richard, you know better English than mine. The Banyankore say, "Juga is a reborog." How do they see it in English?
There are many sayings to that. Yeah, but I don't want to do a direct translation. I want to do a meaning. That iron sharpens iron.
Something like that. But they were referring to an animal, a cow in particular. That the cow which mows more also produces a kid.
A calf.
A calf that imitates the mother, something like that. So, Mahmoud Mamadan, whom I have read his workings since I was a child, to date, but of recent I haven't bought his book. The last one I bought was Bad Muslim, Good Muslim.
He has a new one. I've just read it.
Yes.
Sort of poison.
So, to have written all this material, and finally, also his son, when you see his stage now, he must have read 1 or 2 or 3. So I congratulate Mzee Mamadan. There's nothing pleases a parent like that. Your child speak 1 or 2 of your habits. So I think I have to congratulate him. But also, Ugandans, we don't know how to read we normally read headlines. We don't go in detail. The mayor we are talking now of New York has been a senator since 2020.
Yeah. Congressman.
Yes, he has been
at the state level, yeah.
a Congress senator. But me, I picked his 3 things which I think resonate well with Uganda. The first one of the issues that made him to go through, and I think the youth now through, why are you called an iron lady? Ladies are not supposed to be iron.
But what metal are they supposed to be? Anyway, let's go to the messaging. Fred, you are going to divert me from the messaging.
Now the youth, one of the reasons that made him go through was the cost of living and joblessness. In New York, high cost of living and joblessness among the people in New York. The second one, which is also related to the cost, was high cost of transportation. He promised free bus for passengers. Then another one, which was in terms of costs, high rent. He was saying the state must intervene and take and put controls on rising rent. Then the other one was racial segregation. So when you look at what has made him through, it's not different from here. Because the youth of today is saying, I'm jobless. I have no income. And I think in relation to Richard's question, the Yellow Group is saying, yes, we have done what we have done. We have built roads, border to border. We have put up enough power, and we are still increasing. We have reintroduced Uganda Airlines. We are introducing Uganda Railway plus the standard gauge railway. But those are not enough. We have identified that in PDM, there are some groups which was not included. 1, religious leaders. 2, traditional leaders. 3, local leaders. Because they are also part and parcel of society. We must get them involved in the production of this country. And in the next term of office, they must also be included in PDM. But also, we have also identified that the youth who finish university, 2 years, they are not with a job. We are going to put a seed capital for them where they can borrow this money and go and do the activities and participate in the development of their country. Remember, we are protecting the gains as a leap forward to higher upper middle income status. So that by 2040, we have a $500 million economy. And for us to do that, all of us 25, 26 million Ugandans who are of working age must in one way or the other participate in working. 4 or 5, we have also identified that not all the children that go to school end up finishing. Therefore, the president introduced industrial hub as to check. And we have also found that they have succeeded. Whether you stopped in P1, whether in P7, but you wanted to be a builder, come and study. And it has become a success story. And therefore government is saying, yes, since it has succeeded at a presidential level, let it be a government policy. To have regional hubs or district hubs, and we absorb those who didn't manage to get the capacity to finish formal schools, formal education. So you can see what made Zora Mahmood go through resonates very well with the Yellow Group. Secondly, there is also an issue of market. And the Yellow Group is saying we must, as a matter of fact, consolidate the East African market, the regional market, whereby we shall be having about 300 million people within our market, where our products can go to. Me and you, when we went to school, they used to say that Uganda is landlocked. But philosophy has said no, it is actually land-linked. Uganda is land-linked to the regional market. Whatever you produce, when you check on our exports now, the regional market export is almost superseding those which go to other overseas. So this is a potential market for us, for all the products we produce. And you know, when we were studying, they used to tell us that Uganda's cash crops were coffee, cotton, tea, copper. But when the Yellow Group came, we said, if I plant my maize and I feed my family and I sell a surplus, what is that one? Isn't it a cash? I said yes. So also the number of cash crops have also multiplied. The Uganda, the Yellow Group, because he also mentioned it, was in his campaign. He said he was talking about insecurity within New York City. And then I was saying, in the time that is coming, we have stabilized the region fine, but there is still crime. People's properties are still being stolen. And we are going to make sure as we consolidated the bigger security, also crime must be reduced to zero. The Euro Group is also saying that in the next Kisanja, we shall make sure that all children, for the rich and the poor, must go to school free of charge in government schools. Because partly what has been removing children from schools is these additional charges that are imposed in on schools by the parent teachers committees and head teachers. So we are promising free education, and also that is what Zora is promising, that in New York City, children should be going to school free of charge. So in a way, although his works, I don't know whether he adopted his father's works, but when you look at his campaign strategy, it resonates very well with his father's works. And also the Euro Group is also in the corner here. I was reading something. I have children. One is called Shaka. Another one is called Kabarega. Another one is Mwanga. And I named them. In fact, Kabarega is within this room. He has just finished his S4 exams. And I named them deliberately. These were Africans who didn't go even to nursery. But they were knowledgeable enough to understand that the white man is bad. There is nothing that hurts me when an African meets white people, regardless of their age. They start trembling. So if Kabarega managed to fight colonialism 23 years using arrows and spears against gunpowder, what has happened to us, me and Richard?
Well, that's a question we should answer. And you see,
Yes.
you are talking about protecting the games. You have used
As a leap forward.
Yes, you have used that phrase, and you have enumerated a couple of things. And you see, it brings me back to our topic for the show. This messaging, is it rhetoric, which is populist, or is it on point? And I can't ask you that because you're going to defend it. So I have to ask this one, who is going to be subject to this for a long time. She's the younger one. Is she convinced by this, which you have been saying? Me and you have been here for close to 40 years.
Before you bring, I think you would allow me just little.
Okay, little.
Yes. You know, when Professor Nawambe was contesting with his colleagues for chancellorship,
to become vice chancellor,
he's the only person who talked about the how. And finally he was made the vice chancellor. Even in this election, NRM is not mentioning this for the sake of mentioning. No, we have the how. Remember, it is a government in power. We know how much we collect in terms of tax, and we know how much in terms of industrialization, how many industries are coming in. And that's why in the manifesto we have emphasized that in the next 5 years, it is going to be science-led economy. Because between me and you, much as I'm an artist, but largely countries are developed by science. If you see the rate of industrialization that are flowing in, how prepared are we as a country to absorb? So it's not about record. We have looked at how much we are collecting, and that's why we're not talking of everything. We are saying in the meantime, let everybody participate in developing the economy by making sure everybody has food at home, everybody has some income to trade, or somebody there's money for innovation and research, because those are drivers that will take this country to go further. So we are not talking about it. We are also saying the how, because we know how much we collect, and we know how much, if we continued like that, how quick we can jump to a $500 million economy.
I come to this one. Namirembe will be impacted most in this one. Namirembe.
Yes, please.
Is it rhetoric, populist? Is it pertinent?
I wouldn't say, I don't want to choose any of the side, but I would want to summarize it and say that over the years, they have always said it, but somehow we have not seen the results. They have always promised on how best they are planning, but at the end of the day, still we see the same issues recurring over and over. And of course, even in the period of 40 years that they have been in service. So to me, I think one of the greatest challenges that we are facing now as a country, though they have put all that, but our way of accounting or following the implementation process is not clear. And that's why I come back and tell them that we as the young people, we feel, yes, you're planning this, but the budget allocation and how things are planned are not clear, especially when it comes to the needs of the young people. When you see all the campaign messages by our different presidents, the things to be done for the young people and the budget allocation and how they are going to achieve it is not clear. Now, this still brings us to the side of that the young people, their voices are not being included, because we see somehow we are being excluded. Look at the Parliament of Uganda having over 300 seats, members of parliament. Look at the 10 seats by the UPDF. So all that, but the youth have only 5 seats in the parliament. These are the people who are the majority. These are the people who are facing the many challenges. So at the end of the day, we feel no one makes a decision on behalf of us without us. And that's why for us we demand and say that it is high time that the youth are given much and much more attention. Of course, we have many pressing issues, but these are the challenges I've faced. I will not go to talk about the issues maybe affecting the men. I'm centering on issues affecting the youth. How are we going to solve unemployment? These hubs that they are putting in place, always they have promised, but they have not fulfilled the issue of unemployment. And the question I would request that you answer us, how best are you going to achieve this? How best are you going to solve unemployment? We want to see that clear form of how you're going to achieve this.
We are going to. I'd like her to voice her end.
Yes.
We take a break, and when we come back.
Sure. And then, to me, these are the suggestions, and I know, of course, he's noting them down. We suggest that every young person, as they are putting up their small businesses, They have left the university, they are putting up their small businesses. Let taxes be waived off from these people who are growing their small businesses, so that at least they can stabilize and also join the working world. Business world, people who are still in the age category of the youth should not be able to pay high taxes, at least to reduce on their businesses. 2, we say that let the youth be included, and also our seats in the parliament should increase, and we should be represented at a sub-regional level. Ankwale should have a youth MP, Toro a youth MP. Each sub-region should have a youth MP. And I'm not saying that the number of seats of MPs in the parliament should increase. We suggest and say that let representation be not based on the constituencies, but on the number of people you have in a constituency. We have areas where someone is leading a big group of people, and another area where someone is leading a small group of people, but they are receiving same salary, same services at the end of that. So we are saying that let's divide the population, and you represent people based on the population. At the end of the day, that one will reduce the number of seats in the parliament, and we can even get more seats for the youth in terms of their sub-regions. That's my suggestion.
Okay, thank you. We need to go for a break to take a breather. And when we come back, you already have set some agenda for Fred to talk about, but I will not go to Fred direct. I will first come back to the Electoral Commission Secretary for the Forum for Democratic Change. All of you have talked about tax in different ways. My understanding, though, is that while there is this demand for many things to happen, there is also this demand for taxes to be cut. So, how do you, because the principal places that government gets own money from, not borrowed money, own money from is from taxes, principally. So if we all demand that the taxes reduce or even go away for certain businesses, and then we want everything else increased, how is that one going to happen? And both of you have talked about taxation. And so I would like to hear a little bit more of this, but also the how of the things that are being promised, a little bit of the how. So we go for a break now, and when we come back, we dive deeper into, is it the rhetoric that we keep hearing, speaking on the surface, or are the pertinent issues? Don't go away, we'll be back very quickly. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us on the Ballot 2026, coming your way from Family Television. And Baguma Richard, still staying with you and taking you for another hour. Bamwine Fred is with me in studio. Namirembe Blesius is with me in studio. And Augustine Ojobere is also with me from the Forum for Democratic Change. And sometimes I think we should change the rules of broadcasting and journalism. And we should also share a bit of the snippets of the conversations during breaks. When we are not on air, they can be very interesting and animated. Yeah, but Augustine, I'm coming to you. You see, we're just talking about the how, of how things should be done, because the focus of the program is it rhetoric that is populist, or are they pertinent issues that are practical? And I come to you because all of you have talked about improving things, but also taxation. And so how does it work? How will the FDC deliver on this seeming contradiction that you are raising in studio? Blesius too, in a way, is raising that we need to lower taxes but increase services.
Okay, you understand that when the yellow corner was presenting, he made a very clear statement that they know how much taxes are collected. Unfortunately, he did not also tell us how much of the taxes are stolen. So maybe he will also tell us how much of the taxes are stolen, and we balance the two. Maybe we might have to find out from him why we have so much taxes collected, but the services do not relate to the taxes collected. FDC talking about taxes, we realize that a country to thrive, it's not about over-taxation of its citizens. We have not really said there must be no taxes. We think that even when you overtax an individual, you cause a decline in his ability to invest. The lower the tax, the higher the investment. That is simple economics. The lower the taxation, the higher the investment. You realize that even today, when people talk about employment, majority of the people think of this formal type of employment. As FDC, we say even when we have formal employment in the civil service and maybe in industries, we think that we also need to enable people to create their own employment sectors, so that even when they are self-employed, their livelihood is thriving, and they can also help in creating more employment. And this can only exist by giving tax holidays to beginners, the people who are starting businesses. And these tax holidays should now also translate to where the businesses are going to take place from. Take an example, that if a commodity today, if you wanted to buy second-hand clothes, but also first class, second-hand but in its better condition, you will have to pay about 2 million to get such. But where you are going to sell that product from, in these buildings here, you pay in dollars. These buildings around here, you see on this Namirembe Road, this City House, you will have to pay in dollars. When you're paying in dollars, that automatically is pushing you to the street. Now, when you are on the streets, KCCA is also coming for you to take you to the sales for hawking, because you have no shop on the street. The moment you are in case for hawking, which is an illegal business now in Kampala, you have to pay more than 300,000 to be released, or even bonded or bailed. Now, you're already incurring losses because of the challenges the regime places on you. So, the moment you don't pay the 300,000 or so, you are in prison. But your products, the moment they are taken, they are not returned to you. So you made a loss of 2 million shillings, you don't have enough capital, maybe you even borrowed this money, you are back to zero, ground zero. Now, this is where FDC comes in. It's telling you that we want to lower the taxes. One, these taxes paid cause the high cost of that product, which would be 2 million. It is possible that we can buy and leave water at 600,000, and it will be of good quality, just because government has reduced on its taxes from the border to the shop. The moment you buy your 600,000, taxes for rent will be also managed in the very sequence. That rent policy, where you have to pay, what is this tax called, of buildings? Property tax. Property tax is also one of the measures that the FDC is looking at. That is also reduced. It means the amount of rent will now go down. That whoever is willing to start up their businesses, they will have to pay lower taxes for the product, but also lower taxes for their businesses, but also for starters in business. There will also be no taxes for them in doing their business. So, meaning that as I progress in my business, I will thrive as an individual, but I also have people behind me. So, that is one. Students, students coming from the university or tertiary institutions, there is 1 million grant, not loan, grant.
So the FDC is proposing a grant.
A grant.
For fresh graduates.
For fresh graduates.
Okay.
1 million, and it is very specific and clear. 1 million per graduate. So this is to boost their abilities to start up their businesses. Remember, we are talking about making the environment better. So when you give them the 1 million, when the environment is better, the 1 million is invested in the economy. And we shall continue getting taxes from them as a government, because you have given them an opportunity to invest. Okay? So that alone enables this young girl or boy to understand the principles of investment. Because we understand our formal employment sectors are very limited. Okay? So we want people to be self-employed as well as employing other people through these various sectors. In the same spirit, we say there will be compulsory adoption of our graduates into the working space. Compulsory in a sense that we shall not be paying them, but they must go there and earn experience.
So at Family TV we are in trouble.
No.
You are going to force us to take up people.
No. You are not in trouble, because there will be they have to. You always get people to write applications. Whenever you tell them to write applications, you tell them you must be 2 years, 3 years of experience. Where do they get the experience when they are just from school? So we are saying we need to help them out. Go out there, get that experience. 1 year is enough. Even if you are successful or not, at least you've gained the experience and the knowledge of how to do work, okay? You will find a Bamwine at the district office where you are. Bamwine has some contacts. Maybe through Bamwine, you will reach out, okay, to an employment unit, because you have managed to be given that opportunity 1 year at his workstation. to help him in doing several other duties. So this is in a way to help our young people gain experience and also understand how to do work, ethics of work. So we are trying to make sure that the human resource is built at a very high level. Coming to our teachers, you see, there's a distinction between a science teacher and the arts teacher by the NRM.
This one is a science teacher.
Yeah, by the NRM. For them, they feel
wants to run away and go to Parliament.
For them, they feel that an arts teacher is useless. But yeah, that's the feeling. Because if you're teaching mathematics and you're using English, then you say the English teacher is not as good as the math teacher. Then it means the English teacher is useless, but the math teacher is a better person to be associated with. So FDC says we are going to put the payment at the same level. The only way a science teacher should be earning more than an arts teacher is by what you have invented or innovated. Okay? That should be what makes you earn better. That I am now a science teacher. What have I brought on board? Yes, I've made a robot. Let them pay you for that robot. Let the country appreciate your effort for making such. I have made an irrigation system. How does it get operated in the gardens so that our people can continue to cultivate? Okay, so this is the knowledge you would want a science teacher to really excel in and show the world that actually I am a better person because I innovated A, B, C, D. So we should pay people more money because they are adding value in the education system, not because they are repeating or reciprocating what some other person did. No, that shouldn't be the case.
Thank you. Fred Bamin, your policy of this great mismatch between people in the teaching profession is being thrown out.
By who?
Come 2026 and the FDC is in power.
I think I normally say that President Museveni has a unique luck in the sense that people who are opposed to him all the time, they don't take time to study him and come up with superior ideas. This office I'm holding now has helped me to travel the whole country. There is no district in Uganda where I have not spent at least 2 months. And there was a perception before that sciences are hard subjects. Generally, it used to be there. But when you go to schools now, let it be urban, let it be rural, you'll find that admissions in A level, most of them have changed to science. And in big numbers. And you ask yourself, what is it happen? You'd find the class of science has 5, have 10, but now they're in 50s, 100. The only thing I admit is that for us in government, I think we are bad communicators. Maybe because we came from the bush. You know, rebels don't announce that we are here. They announce through actions. So we are not coming out with robust communication to inform the country how we were 3 years ago and how we are in terms of science education.
But why don't you pay us?
When I was in Mkono, 2020, and when I was in Abuyikwe, 2017, 2016, we used to open factories in a range of 7 to 5 per month. And these factories employ a minimum of 500. The highest, I think, is 3,000. But out of those numbers, 70–80% are science related. This oil pipeline itself, I think it is employing about 50,000 scientists. Not this real science, but these who studied the welding, studied. So, if the president had not come with this idea, by next year we would be starting to import science people who studied science from other countries. But because he, as somebody in charge, he looked at the needs assessment of the contract then and made a decision. Fortunately, the decision he took has been embraced by the parents, has been embraced by the children and the teachers. Now, when it comes to arts, my son has made a ridiculous statement that arts are useless. By them, including the president, were arts.
He actually said
even myself,
that the feeling
where
that is there.
I don't know when he measured the feeling and which method he used to measure the feeling.
You observe
as we speak.
the attitude.
As we speak. And I want to encourage you people, try to read and try to follow events in your country. As we speak, coming the next financial budget, which has already begun, the salaries for teachers of arts have also been enhanced, but it's going to be in a phased manner. And why? Because the resources of the country cannot permit to do it at a go. That's why I said a government which is in charge knows how much we are collecting in taxes.
He also challenged you to say something about that.
I'm coming.
Hey.
So that's why I think we, as people who are in the kitchen, we know how much food has been prepared. So you cannot invite 1,000 people. When you're in the kitchen, you are aware that you have food for 500. So you must see how to make sure that the food you have prepared is enough for everybody. And remember, when you start paying somebody, you don't stop. You have started 1 year, we cannot manage. No, once you have started paying a salary, it will continue. And it cannot go backward. Two, before I talk about salary,
FBC says they are going to rationalize it.
Before I talk about taxation, I think it was my sister, who was also my daughter. She talked about prioritizing youth. You see the mistake young people think. When they look at a person like me, they think I've never been a youth.
No, I saw you when you were a youth, but you are no longer.
I want to inform the youth who are watching us that at some stage I was also youth. Actually, I'm a youth pioneer for youth councils in the country. And I contributed in the formation of youth council statute, which resulted into youth having a structure from LC1 up to parliament. In the past governments, it was not there. So when you see you are competing for youth member of parliament, that is, you should be thanking NRM. That is a result of the formation of NRM, which created youth structure from LC1, LC2, LC3, 5, and members of parliament. For the first time in the history of Uganda, we are having representatives of youth in parliament. But also, there is no bar to stop anybody from contesting in a country. We have people in parliament representing constituencies, but who are in the youth bracket. And by the way, even now it is very open that even youth can stand for president. You remember last time when people were picking nomination forms?
You're going to tell me about Katumba Way?
No, even no, this last election, this one. This election we're in, about 50 youth picked nomination forms. Maybe they got some challenges, but they picked. So, even for you to be allowed to pick forms, for us in our time, if you are not 40 plus, you could not think of being a president of this country. But now all these efforts is because of youth. 2, you cannot have a council, LC3 council, or LC5 council, when the youth representatives are not there. For you to make a full council, the youth must be elected. It says it's within the law. And all this, and although the one is a youth, you are not stopped also from competing for other positions. PDM, I think 30% of the PDM must go for youth. True or false?
Sure.
Yes. This money has come to your parish, but 30% must be ring-fenced for youth. There is a fund called Youth Livelihood. Specifically, that one is for youth. Nobody else can interfere.
Is it
So-
still there?
These are government policies, and I'm telling you, fortunately, I am at an implementation level. 4, when you're talking about youth to be prioritized, I want to request you now as a youth, prioritization of youth must also go with responsibilities. I would wish to have this youth leader. In our time, you could not find youth 8 a.m. in the morning in a trading center, either playing Ludo, either taking a waraji. You know, it wouldn't. You must be in the garden. And remember, even the Bible says it. Those who don't work should not even eating, they shouldn't. So, I want to appeal to youth who are seeing me. It is not about only rights. Rights must go with responsibilities. How much are you contributing to the family? How much are you contributing to your own? I employ some youth number, good number. This boy or girl comes looking for a job. You give him the job. The first thing to buy, a smartphone. The second thing to buy, earphones. I think the first one and one which goes together, data. By the time somebody calls, hey youth, Mr. Bamwini, good morning, how are you? Did the rain pass that side? By the time he finishes talking to you, 2,000 have gone. How much have you earned? For us who did economics, we say the marginal propensity to consume must be lower than the marginal propensity to save. If you enter a hotel with 10,000 shillings, come out with 7,000. But the youth of today, he'll go in the hotel with 10,000 shillings and comes out with a debt of 5,000 or 20,000 or 10,000. He has eaten what he has, even he has gone to. So that's indiscipline. And that's why I'm saying, you leaders who have come out to lead the youth should work as an example and encourage them that life, youth is not a static stage. After some few days, you'll be like me. You are not a youth anymore. The question is very simple. What have you used or done with a useful period or useful age? Now,
And finally,
okay, let me talk about the taxation and the how. My FDC man, in Islam there's a word where there's something they call hadith. Hadith is something good you can pick from somebody. Now, if FDC is talk about leadership, and even the resource expending, I don't think there's much to pick from FDC. FDC started 2005. After starting, there is another group which split out from them, Uganda Federal Alliance. Another group came out of them, Uganda and is what? Alliance of National Transformation. Now another group has gone away, called PFF. So really, there's nothing much in terms of leadership. You can study from.
It's not different from the NRM.
No,
In fact,
it's very
the
different.
grandfather
No, but
of factions.
maybe you
Yes.
should also
Is
tell us how
NRM
many political
how many-
parties
how
did
many-
Museveni go into
FDC
before
itself,
becoming
yes.
president.
Is a child
No,
of the NRM.
No, let him
so
tell
these
us.
are all
that's not true.
Let him tell us how many
FDC,
political parties
yes.
did
By
Museveni
the
go
time
into before
FDC
becoming
was being
president.
formed, it is the same time NRM was formed, 2005.
No.
Yes.
No, that's gerrymandering.
No.
Yeah.
NRM political organization started in
no,
2005.
you have changed the parameters. That's
Yes.
what I call gerrymandering. The NRM has been in power for how long?
From 2005 up to
Okay.
this is how many years?
Okay, and the people are watching you.
Yes.
Bamin.
Yes. Because in the past,
Have you finished on taxation?
From-
I want to
from
bring
two-
this one.
from
because what you
2005
have been saying.
from 2005 and 2006, all Ugandans were in the movement.
I am not going to go there.
Exactly.
I will not allow to be
Now,
drawn there. Let's
the
finish
question of-
taxation. And why
the
I'm
question of
saying we finish
taxation.
and come to her is because all the things you have said are supposed to have made her the most wonderful person.
Yes.
I want to come and say,
Now, the issue of taxation,
eh,
it is good for, like rebels. When rebels come and attack, they have no responsibility of treating the injured, the dead, forming IDP camps. No, for them they have attacked and gone. So it is easy to say we shall do this, we shall do this, but you must say how. Government does not print money. Government gives out a program depending on resource allocation. So you cannot say that you are reducing the tax and at the same time, not even reducing, according to him, it is abolishing actually. And then at the same time, you are creating expenditure avenues. Expenditure must match with the revenue. I want to challenge, particularly him in his time, to know which type of taxes are imposed on the beginners in business or in farming. Beginners. I would wish to know that tax. Because once you talk of property tax, that belongs to a big person. I don't know.
Doesn't it affect the business?
No, we are talking. You mentioned about youth.
I talked everything.
No,
so
no,
you have brought
You
it.
specified
Doesn't it
about
affect?
youth. You said
I
for
talked
the
of
youth-
property tax also. Doesn't
Yes,
it affect?
But you said for the youth to be given seed capital to do business, when taxes are high, you're not doing it. And I'm asking you, what kind of tax is imposed on the beginners and agriculture? Two, for you to be able to talk about the expenditures you're talking about, you need to ask your mind, if we are capable like that, how come as a country we are still getting donations and loans from other countries? That means
We should be asking you.
for us to do
who
that.
is protecting
why
the
you, why,
gains?
why you bring that one? For us here in the kitchen, we have come to confirm that the resources we have are not enough to sustain our national needs as we speak today. That's why there is some taxation on some items and some people. Other taxes are of government policy, because I have seen you in trying to indicate that people who are selling second-hand clothes are facing stiff competition in tax. You people, you are lucky that I'm not the president of this country. If I was, some things don't need a debate. Because any shirt you buy from out as second-hand cloth, you are giving jobs to other people. Even in new cloth, the campaign must be to make sure that we have our own crops, have our own clothes, have our own homemade items. That's when you can talk of liberation. And I think as people who are in the government, we have a big obligation to make sure that even those who are in opposition understand what is the mindset of the country and what should the country expect from leaders. To me, if I was in charge of a country, some people would be stopped from participating. But unfortunately, you find a vote for a drunkard is equivalent to the one of a bishop. I said, really? To me, I think we need to
to reevaluate that. Okay,
So the how
yes,
is because what I was mentioning,
and I want to come to
is
her.
because
Yes.
when we say we are going to make sure that every Ugandan gets what to do, we are talking of attracting many industries because we have enough power. We have created incentives that industries are coming here and they are doing it. So many jobs are being created. Two, we are talking of now changing the presidential hub into a government policy to be able
And I
to
had
absorb.
no, you told us that, Mamone.
Yes.
I want to come to the beneficiary of these things
Okay,
because
since you have stopped me, I've
yeah,
stopped.
because you have been talking for 20 minutes and we must share time. One of my roles here is to make sure we share time and you don't take all of it alone.
But why do you ask me then?
Yeah, because you see, this one here, from what you have discussed, should not be lamenting. But she opened up and says, we have no voice, we have no representation, the money is collected and is stolen.
Yeah.
And then, so, Bamina speaks as if you're in paradise. Why are you lamenting, Namiredi?
Now, I would want to start and to say that some of the things mentioned, I would say that it is about putting a picture. I don't know how you can say that the young people of this generation at 8 in the morning they are in bars and drinking. Of course, even them in their time, in their generation, they had those ones who were there. But I would want to say that in this generation, the young people actually are very determined. Look at Blesius. They are very determined.
British might be an outlier.
No, even many other. They are surely working so hard to make sure that they make their ends meet in this country. But like I've told you, the conditions are so harsh. They are so hostile. Now, he was talking about having youth leaders at every level, even in parliament. But look at the way these leaders are being voted for. This is a system that is favoring a certain group of people.
Which one?
A certain group of people, the people who own sacks of money, the ones that have stolen. The money that has been stolen now comes back. You will see what will. I was recently in Kororo seeing what was taking place.
Also, what took place? Because the viewers should
People are giving money, like for me to get your vote by standing behind you, you should give me sums and sums of money. And who has started that kind of system? It is the NRM. We are seeing all this as the young people. And after seeing our money being spread in the campaign season, people carrying sacks and everyone saw that. We were seeing them on social media. You are blaming us for having phones. This is the Gen Z's era. Of course, we cannot be of the same generation like you. We are of this generation. Actually, data should be made free of charge. This is
you
what
can't carry these ones.
No, we cannot carry those ones. This is our time. This is our time, and we cannot say that we are also going to go back to your generation. So we have to appreciate that there are some things. We have to appreciate the fact that there are some things that have been put in front of us, and we should not look at them as a burden, but we should look at them as an opportunity. I am so disappointed to find that through your office, you're now condemning somehow internet. This is a gadget that should be encouraging every young person to have, because through internet, we are getting ideas, we are learning. The young people of Uganda are innovators, but are they being put in front? Our corrupt officials. We are not. There are many young people who are doing great things in the country, but the system still takes them back. So to me, I can't really say that the young people are wasting time on social media. The young people, they are doing what they can do, but it's high time that we look at the conditions that are placing them down. When it comes to voting, I can clearly say that you will see what will happen. Even in the primaries, you saw what happened. Beginning, we were being nominated, paying 3 million. I graduated last year, 25 years old. even have not yet stabilized in the world of work because our education system does not prepare you for work. So in other words, you are unemployed. For you to be a member of parliament, you have to pay 3 million as the nomination fee. How fair is that? That is the system I'm talking about. Okay? And then look at how these, after even paying my nomination fee, see how they are voting for me. These are delegates at the sub-county and at the district. This person knows that their vote weighs a lot. At the end of the day, they are already saying that the highest bidder is the one who will win this vote. So at the end of the day, we are already, the young people are already excluded. They do not have the right to vote for their leaders. Why doesn't the youth MP be voted by everyone in that region? So the system is affecting the young person, and we are doing all it takes.
Imagine campaigning in the whole region. It is a disaster.
Still they can't die. So
now, you are representing these people. And why won't you can still campaign among them? We have social media before me.
Okay.
I'm already here. There are many people watching me. But why would you say delegates? And these are the delegates that are dominated by the NRM. At the end of the day, you're excluding the DPs, the DP, the NUP. So the system somehow is so compromised that the young people feel they are not being heard. Two, I would like to talk about what we suggest that it should be done. We suggest that, one, in every district, it's possible, put industries. Why would you put the these agencies that are somehow allowing corrupt officials to enjoy life? In other words, you're putting things that you cannot even monitor very well. Things that are not clearly monitored. So we say, instead of putting these things that are saying, go, get money, put an industry so that the engineers will get jobs. The economists will get jobs. People who are doing their agriculture will get what? Some money. That's number one. The two, we are looking at invest in this new curriculum. Equip the schools. Let's plan for the young people. It's high time as Ugandans. We plan for these people. Me, I'm already a victim, and many of my colleagues. We are already victims of going into an education system, and at the end of the day, getting a job is difficult. I'm so blessed that me, I'm a teacher. Of course, schools are there. You cannot fail to get a job. But there are those sectors where a child is so going through a lot to get this job. So to us, we are saying, equip the education system, and it is very possible. Equip it so that we look at practical skills, even at the university, even in high school, A-level. Equip this new curriculum so that we do not have people who are demanding for jobs. They should be their job, they make their own jobs, job creators. The other thing I'm looking at, surely telling our elders that we should not be looked at as threats. I've had many of them taking us to be the unserious group of people, the lamenters. Actually, we are not lamenting. We are not lamenting. We are just telling you, and if things cannot be right, surely we are mobilizing ourselves. We are mobilizing ourselves, and time will reach when we are very equipped with what we need to be able to take our country to the next level. So we are not lamenting, and neither are we saying that help us, because in any way they are not willing to help us. But we cannot fail to tell you that this is the way that things are supposed to be done. You cannot say that we wake up, we are on social. This is an era of social media. Surely it beats my understanding to find you're condemning social media.
So even the people in studio are right now on social media.
Yes,
yes, go to our next thing.
Yes.
The FDC has been labeled as the experts in splintering. And so that the message you are giving is really rhetoric. Is this a fair description of the FDC and its messaging?
You see, you should really thank God that my colleague Bamwine here is not the leader of this country, because he prides in injustice and he prides in doing things that must injure another person's livelihood. At least whenever he stands up to speak, he prides in that. So I think God also knows why he's not, or even closer to that kind of leadership. You see, he even...
but I think he's, for amongst us, is the one closest to that one.
You see...
And we're in trouble.
Let me tell you, there is a being... there's a being in an office but without power. There's being in an office but without power. You can be the head and your vice is having more power than you. So we can leave it at that. Basically, looking at what Mr. Bamwine said about the youth, for me, I have a different version. It's more like...
You shared it with us.
Yeah, it's more like Mr. Bamwine wants to threaten the youth. You see, for us, we did this. So you forget that we have time for everything. Okay? We have time for everything.
Now it's time for FDC.
Yeah. It's my time to talk. It is my time to talk. That's why I'm saying there is time for everything. Even the Bible talks about it. So you will not really begin thinking that a youth of today must think the same way like a youth of 1970s. At that time, we were even having, I think, the first generation of computers. And today...
70s, bro. Not in Uganda, at least.
In the world.
Somewhere else.
In the world. We were having the first generation. You don't talk about Uganda. You talk about it, whether it is the what, but that was the time of the first generation of the computers. So at this point, I think we are either at the eighth, what generation are we on? So if machines can evolve, what of human beings? Yet it is the very human beings who continue to. I find the contradiction in my colleague trying to make the current regime look so holy in promoting technology, but in the other hand, you are again condemning people for consuming technology. So it looks, it's contradictory to me. I think you need to change your mindset. If you are condemning technology, continue condemning it. Don't say it's good here, then bad there. No, it can't be that way. This is a boy can't be a boy, a girl. No, you are either a boy or you are a girl. Or both. You can't be both. That is what you're trying to preach. In precise, I say, let us embrace the technology at whatever stage it is. Let us promote it and give it the need it deserves so that it grows. FDC, actually, it shouldn't be Mr. Bamwine talking about FDC splitting because the person he cherishes so much. At one time, he told me when we were in our private chat that actually, for me, I'm not an NRM. I am a supporter of Museveni. But the person he supports, Mr. Museveni, has been, before he became a president, he transited from so many political parties. So I don't know whether he also disagrees with his assertiveness in the movements he made from one political party to another. Today is UPM, the other day is DP, the other day is UPC, the other day is FRONAS. So for him, he was everywhere. Whatever comes up, actually, you should be appreciating people like Numbers. What becomes popular at that time is what he used to go on, and that is how Namboza and group behave. Well, if today, if today Bamwine formed this political party and it is so popular, they will come and say Bamwine is the best person we must associate with. So I think that was the same character of Mr. Museveni. So, but that does not really, when we are talking about a country, some of those things are minor, okay? That people breaking up, it is
minor.
Yes, it is minor. Right. It is minor. The issues are the most important thing. That yes, breaking up, we can break up because we think that maybe what you are driving for and what I really drive for cannot really match. But it does not necessarily mean that they are both bad, okay? Because I can have a different mindset, you have a different mindset, and we can't put the mindsets together.
So we move together.
That's why you can have a splitter. So it is not bad, necessarily bad, to say that someone has broken. So that's why even in the Constitution, you have the opportunity to have as many political parties as you wish. So people who would wish that, I think, this vehicle can no longer accommodate my ideas, has the full rights to say democratically, I think I have the right to go and associate with other people. Just like for me, I'm a Catholic, I can decide today and say, I am becoming a Muslim, okay? And I don't think it will stop me from associating with the Catholics, or it will stop me from speaking about religion and how maybe going to heaven is also important, okay? So this is what my brother wants to say, that because there has been splitting of different groups, so we cannot talk about development of this country, because if you recall very well, our viewers have noticed that even when I said, okay, you have given us this, the scenario that you know how much tax is collected. Could you also tell us how much is stolen? And we also put this into perspective. Okay? You know that as a country today, we have gone up to about 116 trillions, where we must pay money to people who are demanding us, countries who are that are demanding us, about 116 trillions. This is really something too high for a country like Uganda. When you're talking of how, these are some of the things. Where is our money going? Okay? When the NRM were holding their elections, people said that, I saw so many articles, about 5 to 6, on Twitter and on social media platforms from NRM members who had won and those who had lost, that majority of them used between 800 millions and 1 billion on the day preceding to elections. What does that mean? Using 800, between 800 and 1 billion, within 1 day or 2 days, you must have more than 2 or 3 billion somewhere kept. Where is that money coming from? Who is giving it to them? What jobs are they doing? What businesses are they doing? That for us, the ordinary Ugandans, we must even look for the second meal in a day. Fred.
Tell us where the billions are coming from, and we are in the last minutes of the program. We need to wrap up. So each one of you will have their 2 minutes of wrap up.
2 quick ones. One, well, I think this show is shorter.
It's a 2-hour show.
and my colleagues, I'd really want to take some time. Because when you invited me, I started saying, what is this audience going to receive from me? One of the reasons I mentioned that parties are not good, specifically for developing countries, is that, one, for parties to prosper and develop a country, they must be based on socio-economic foundation, such that each party is presenting an economic interest or a social interest. But unfortunately, in 2005, when we were transiting into multipartyism, we went to Chankwanzi to receive a report from the National Political Commission. At that time it was Chionga, Honorable Chionga. And that report was from the entire country. Out of the 85 districts of that time, it is only 2 districts, Kalangara and Kampala, which recommended that Uganda is ready for multipartyism. The rest said, basing on our history and basing on our economic status and social status, we are not yet ready. But we had 2 challenges. One was there are some people since 1996 who are saying, but for us, we don't support this what we are in, the movement. We have actually been conscripted. 2, the big boys, the donors, although I call them exploiters, we are saying if you don't go multi-party, we are not going to work with you through World Bank and IMF. So we at a junction, we had to make a choice. I remember even the president finding it difficult to convince some of us. And he said, we are not going away from the movement, but we are going to make sure these people who don't like us, they go. We should not conscript them. Let them go where they want. For us, we remain. And I'm happy that the advocates of multipartyism that time have found it rough when we went into multipartyism.
You made it rough. You made it impossible for
They
them
have
to
made it. They have found it rough.
You have tear gassed
That's
them.
why
You have beaten them.
in the current election, if you are to scan across, the people who nominated as independents in all the parties are more than those who have registered in parties. What does that tell you? Because that time we are basing on 4 issues. 1, broad-basedness. 2, all-inclusive. 3, non-sectarian. And the last one was individual merit. That was the principle we are basing on. So that you could even, when you're competing, when you're competing for LC1 election,
you see the time where
the leaders could tell, the people could tell you that, no, Bamwine is suited for defense. Baguma should be for the chair. The people knew, and they know who is suited for what. So that's why, because we went into orders of the big boys, that's why multipartyism has not worked well here. Because for you now to have a party, you listen to what they are campaigning. You should support me because I'm born here. You should support me because we go to the same church. You should support me because we are putting on the same clothes. Those are not issues that build a country. Lastly.
And in a minute, because I'm going to interrupt, I don't want to be rude.
He mentioned about corruption. I don't blame him. Maybe he doesn't find researching important. Before NRM came to power, there was no department called Inspectorate of Government. It is the creation of this government. There was no independence of DPP. It was intertwined with government. There was no court handling corruption cases. There was no state house and corruption unit. There was no public accounts committees in parliament and local government.
And therefore,
there was no. Let me conclude with this
because
one.
you have finished the minute.
And therefore, this is even for us to be on the TV, family TV, and talk about corruption, it's one of the methods to fight corruption. But where is the missing link? And that's why I challenge even the people I work with. The missing link is simple. 1, the legal regime that we're operating in cannot allow you to fight corruption quickly and decisively. 2, the punishments to those who are found corrupt are so lenient.
3,
we have to go back to the bedroom and say, what kind of punishments can we do? Me, I would propose that we have
3. I want to show you because you are being corrupted by taking all the time.
Now, the third one is to find that
you should have left him to tell you.
You propose. People are opposed to the government think that it is not their responsibility to condemn corruption and fight it.
They are here
That's why there is even much corruption in parties that are opposed to government.
Thank you very much.
And you ask yourself,
thank you.
Which is the best?
Thank you.
So we better go with what is available because we have provided the right.
You are last minute.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Your last minute.
You see, yes. I want to thank Family TV for this singular opportunity. to talk to people, most especially those who are viewing, because the reason as to why we are here is because you're there in your sitting room watching us, and we pledge to be valuable. We want to value your time. When you listen to us, you also offer us advice. Send us SMSs, send us WhatsApp, send us, so that we know that this country, we have a responsibility. It's a collective effort to build this country called Uganda. Leave alone the issues of the Bamwinis who feel that they have sole responsibility as them. It's not a sole proprietorship that Uganda is in. No, this is a country where we have many stakeholders. So if we have erred, do not run away from the station, but you rather send us messages to indicate that there is some critical information you missed out. So as a country called Uganda, you need a person like Nathan Nandala Mafabi who understands the economy of this country, because this is a time when we need to build our economy. We don't need to build the security apparatus. It is there. Let it be there. But we need to evaluate the importance of the economy vis-a-vis the people who are managing the economy. Today, we have an engineer who will be operating in a medical center. So we want to shift this. The person who must manage this country at such a point should be one who understands the problems of this country.
Who is Nathan
Nandala Mafabi, Forum for Democratic Change, flag bearer. Today we have been in Tororo. Tomorrow we shall be resting. Then the next day we shall be in Katakwi. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Your last minute, Namirembe.
Thank you so much, Mr. Baguma, and Family TV. I thank you so much, and I would like to speak to the youth of Western Region, the majority who are the NRM. I'm from Democratic Party, and to tell you that your slogan that says protecting the gains, this is the high time to protect the gains by protecting the cooperation agreement that you signed with the DP to make sure that Blesha serves you as your leader in the Western, in this coming parliament, in the 12th parliament. Please protect the gains by protecting the cooperation agreement that you signed with the Democratic Party. And I would like to say that Ugandans, in the time we are in, this is not time to look at which color, but it should be the time to look at what this person is going to put on table. Are they flaunting your needs? Are they willing to serve you? And I can surely say that if we stay on that kind of line, we shall have the best of Uganda in the next 5 years to come. Because the needs that affect the DP are the same needs that affect FDC, are the same needs that affect the NRM. So we are one. Let's move in this in unity. Stop fighting each other. Stop fighting people basing on the colors. Let's stand in unity. And also, last of the last, let's use our social media platforms profitably. The young people, we have this gadget before us. It's a great opportunity. If we use social media to even expose these corrupt people, we can have Uganda that is free of corruption. I thank you so much, and I request for your votes.
All right. Thank you so much. I must thank the viewer who has patronized us. Thank you so much for staying with us for the 2 hours. You have heard from the panel. Our call as Family TV, the reason we have to this program is to say, please, it's critically important that you participate in elections. Take interest in the issues. Listen to the people who come to you at all levels, but go and cast your vote. We should not, as a country, have less than 50% of the eligible voters going to vote, and then we cry about governance issues. Let's exercise our responsibility, our mandate, and what I call a divine duty. Thank you so much. God bless you. Baguma Richard wishing you a good morning. God bless you again.